Hello, everybody. I hope you're well. Welcome back to the channel. Today, Lance Cawley joins us again. Absolutely great to have him with us. So, for those of you who don't know, he's raced over 10 seasons, way over 100 races in the Ferrari Challenge in the North American series. He's won the Gentleman's Cup over there. He's a fantastic guy, multiple Ferrari owner. It's always our pleasure to have him here. We just love him. So, here he is. Lance, welcome. Welcome back, Lance. Thanks for coming on again. That's so great. It's great to see you. You're looking healthy, looking good.
Thank you. I've been working out a lot the last year. I lost a little weight, try to stay in really good shape for driving and just general health.
So how have you been? Been well? You've got a new SF90 coming. Is that correct? Soon, like today or any moment?
Well, it's finished and it's been shipped and it has to come across the ocean. And it takes quite a bit of time for cars to get from Maranello to a dealership in the U.S. It seems to be things move slowly at the port sometimes. I don't really know why. I mean, sometimes they can be doing color correction or something, or are they just waiting, hopefully, that maybe the tariffs go down? I don't know.
Are you able to track it, Lance, like a parcel?
No. I think there's people who are good at that. They somehow get the ship number and they can track the ship. Yeah. I'm fine. It's an extraordinary car.
Yeah.
We did a build that was very extreme. Actually, it's Rosa Magma, which is pretty typical for me, but it's a lot of blue carbon. It's partially exposed carbon on the car itself. And then the wing and the interior, just lots of blue carbon fiber. What's really unique about the car, probably one of the first ones, fiber wheels. I was in Belgium at Spa, and I look at Facebook or something, and I see 3 pictures of my car driving around, in the test. That's the first I'd seen of the finished car. And then in the last 4 or 5 days, I got a picture on my Ferrari app, and I uploaded that to the internet. So I think I've gotten about 39,000 views of the video.
Wow. Fantastic.
You ordered it quite some time ago, didn't you? I remember you spoke to us last year about it.
Yeah, it was tailor made, and I think it was the March before last that I did it. A lot of the XX Spiders were kind of just sort of delayed for I don't know why. And then all of a sudden, right after the summer break ended, I know some other customers and me, our cars were all of a sudden going from stage 40. They've been in stage 40 for months. All of a sudden, they accelerated and boom. I was with another friend at Spa and said, "You should check. You should check your dealer out." He said, "Oh, my car is almost done." He didn't know that. So
right. Okay.
I'm looking forward, but I don't think it'll show up at the dealer for another 3 or 4 months, but I don't.
Wow. Well, you seem very calm about that. I'd be going apoplectic. I'd be going out of my mind about it. Just wondering where it is.
I have other cars. I have plenty of other cars to drive. I'm not.
But I want it.
I'm fine. I'm very content. I don't know. Maybe we thought it might get here before Christmas, but I'm skeptical. I think it's January.
Yeah. You've had a really good season, haven't you, in the Ferrari Challenge? Fastest laps, pole, gentlemen's trophies.
Yeah. I had a good year. It started off horribly though. I got pole and was leading the first race. And I guess it was Sonoma, and I got too aggressive. And I made a mistake. It was my fault. I hit another car trying to get up into that further ahead.
You came off quite early, didn't you? Did you come off the track quite early in the race?
Yeah, it was the second lap. It was terrible. I felt horrible. I was in the ambulance with the other driver. He was upset. I took full responsibility. And fun thing, we're friends now through the season. He said, I talked to people, and he said, "You have a really good reputation." I hadn't screwed up like that in maybe 8 or 9 years. I got really my coach said, "What happened? You just got really aggressive." I don't know. And but I'm friends with the other fella. We were both able to get our cars fixed. We both missed the Sunday race, which put me behind in the championship and the overall championship. So, but you try to learn from these things. And I got very conservative. I told the IMSA director of racing, I said, I put myself on personal probation. He liked that. But I became very conservative. Just didn't want to make a mistake. The last race of the season in Laguna Seca about 4 weeks ago was an incredible event. Let's go back one day. On Saturday, I had to fight in qualifying to get a clean lap. And the last lap, I drag raced a guy down the straightaway to turn 2, because turn 1's just a little bend in the road. And the guy, he hit me at the end of the straightaway.
Oh, did it? A wing mirror, was it? Was it a wing mirror?
He just hit the little corner. I kept going, but I lost 3 or 4 tenths easily. And he spun wildly out of control.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And there was concern. My coach is on the radio going, well, look, because the guy almost spun back out on track and hit me on the exit kind of there. And there wasn't anything I could do. I didn't see him. Like, you can't see him. And I just went on, and I got a decent quality, but it wasn't great. Yeah. And I was upset because that was just, I talked to race control. Basically, it was 100% the other guy's fault. But still, I was kind of upset because it could have destroyed my car.
Yeah.
And all I had to do was race that weekend to get the championship.
Yeah.
But we did some, I guess, what do you call it, prescriptive maintenance, where we replaced the toe link just in case, and one other little part, upper control arm, just because we didn't want to fail. You don't want to get hit like that. But then the next day, you never know, qualifying, I had like 5 clean laps. It's so random. First qualifying on Saturday, there was a red flag. A guy, immediately there were 2 cars went off and one hit the wall in like turn 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Right behind me, and we ended up being red flag and losing some time, and everything got out of sync. So that's racing.
Yeah.
But the race was crazy. I started out 6th, and I got roughed up pretty good and fell back to 10th. And late in the race, my coach says, "You're in P3." I just kept the car on the track and drove cleanly, and other people were just losing control of their cars. I don't know whether tire pressures got too high, and it was warmer. I really don't know. And the last turn, I think it's the left-hander, turn 11. It was a schmozzle down there. And I ended up drag racing down to the finish line and getting 3rd. And the guy hit me at the finish line. He just came over and hit me.
Wow.
And I still was 3rd. I stayed in it, but he was pinching me right up against the wall.
Wow.
That's crazy.
He got a big penalty for that. And then my teammate who won the race ended up getting penalized and being put down in the back, and ended up in 2nd place. It was just wild. I mean, I don't know what got into everybody.
It sounds more like NASCAR or like Robbins Racing. Is that the expression I should be using there? Is that it?
Yeah. You couldn't see much damage from when he hit me, but you could hear it and see it in the video, and he pushed me over a little bit, but I just kept in it. I was very proud of myself in that race because I hung in there, and my 2 teammates on my team are 1st and 2nd in the championship. So, and that race had a big impact. If he had won the race, he would have had a huge points lead. At one point, they took away all of his points, but then they gave him back like 11th or 12th place in the race. And the guy hit me, they gave him 12th in the race. So he got some points. Yeah. And my other teammate, I could see him spinning off on the right in the video. So he did better than the one, but it was a real up and down. But for me, the season ended extraordinarily well. And I'm not racing in Italy because I was in 5th place overall, and I won the championship in the gentleman's cup.
Good.
Yeah, congrats, man. It was great. It was great seeing you up there, actually. It was like, I know that guy. I've spoken to him. I know him. It's great. It was very cool. It was really
No,
cool.
it's great. I mean, we watch the races on YouTube. They're so easy to watch.
But you didn't see much of me at all.
No.
In the race, you don't see me.
No, you just see your name come up in the, they scroll through the names.
They only show the first couple people usually, and there's two
that's right. Yeah.
It was another good friend of mine in the shell class. He had a rough weekend. I mean, he got taken out, and he was leading the championship, but when he left there, he wasn't. He got incidents in both races. I think at turn 2, which is turn 1 in Laguna.
Yeah.
Sort of, it's the end there. But he said, the first one was my responsibility. The second one, not really. Nice. I know I saw him in Spa too. Nice guy. So it'll be an interesting championship fight at the finals. I'm just going to run my XX car there.
The gentleman's trophy, Lance. How does that work within the race?
If you're 65 or older,
I presume it's an age thing. Yeah.
It's a subcategory. There's 2 of them. There's one for Shell and one for Shell AM. So I look at it. Sometimes I say it's a participation trophy. On the other hand, I say I survived. I finished I finished my 10th year of the series.
That's right. Yeah.
I drove pretty well at times. I didn't hit anybody else, at least after that. And I'm looking forward to next year. I signed up for the entire next season.
Amazing. Amazing.
I don't know. After the Saturday race, I said, why did I do that? After the Sunday race, you're like, hey, that's great. I did that. Racing's a very up and down sport.
You're talking about Spa and Monza earlier. You obviously the FXX program. You were there driving. So I'm just curious. I mean, they're iconic tracks to drive on. What is it like? What's it like going up Eau Rouge for the first time? I mean, it must be incredible.
Spa has 2 high risk areas, and I guess it's Radion, really. It's Eau Rouge, but Radion.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the back straight, there's a left-hander that's a big sweep you could do flat out. And then there's another left-hander where you really need to slow down and downshift. Eau Rouge is pretty cool. I made a mistake and listened to a challenge driver, which is, you never should listen to challenge drivers, because he said, yeah, you do this. I turned in a little early at Eau Rouge, and one of my little fins off the back, I think, we don't know where it disappeared, but it wasn't on the back.
Oh, no.
Well, yeah, part of it was gone. So I don't know if that's where I did that, but it's a super track. I mean, I really enjoyed it. We got lucky at Monza with the weather, 2 beautiful days of weather, and then it rained after that. And then at Spa, we got really lucky. We had 3 days of good weather. There was a little wetness Sunday morning, and I didn't go out the first session. I may have been probably equally due to the wine I drank the night before, but I could say I could say la pista è bagnata, which means the track was wet, but it wasn't that wet.
No, I mean, I've been to Spa, obviously not driven Spa and Monza. Spa 3 times and Monza twice now. But standing at the bottom of Eau Rouge, the television does no justice whatsoever in the elevation there and how steep that is. I mean, you're kind of, I can imagine as you go up, all you can see is the sky. Like you can't see over the brow at all, or
it's totally so steep. Totally blind. You turn left where the curves are ending, right? And you can touch the curves at the top on the left and the right. You're fine, right? And we can't do it flat out. It's not what our cars can do, and the challenge cars can't either. But you go. I have to look at the video again, but you're hitting well in the 200 kilometer range, and then you lift, and you may downshift or may not, depending on what gear you entered in at the bottom of Eau Rouge, and then you get the car lined up on the right to the curves, and then the curves end, you turn left, and you just floor it up there, and I hit the curves button, and we get close to 300 kilometers at the end, at the top of at the very end of the straightaway, but.
It must be. I mean, with the G-forces and everything, though, slamming you down and lifting you up like that, the car must. Does it bottom out? I'm sure it doesn't. Does it feel like it's going to bottom out, or wow?
No. Again, on the one time when I turned it a little early, it may have been a little rough on it there. It was a little rough because I got on the curves pretty hard on the left when I moved up there. No, the car's fine.
Right.
I do know I had some challenge buddies were there racing, and I had dinner with them. And one of them said he actually threw up after getting out of the car at Eau Rouge. And then the next time he went up through there, he threw up in the car. And
wow.
This is a guy who's won the championship before. And I don't know, maybe just it was that dramatic. And
maybe that was the wine as well.
Maybe I don't think he did have one, but maybe it was a little jet lag or something. But I had my niece and nephew and their two children were there. I mean, their children are 17 and 13, but I had my coach take out my niece. She's older, and it gave her quite a ride.
I bet.
Yeah, I saw the lap time. It was much quicker than mine, and she turned pretty much green after about 3 laps, and had to get her out of the car.
Wow.
Wow. We're still hoping you'll come to Silverstone at some year. That's what we're hoping.
We are hoping, yeah.
I spoke to him about that at the night they announced the schedule. The head of the program, I told her I was disappointed that we weren't going to Silverstone. She said, well, you can go watch the F1 race. I said, that's not really what I wanted to do. I'm optimistic because it's been 2 years since they've been there, and then 27 will be 3 years. I hope they come back then. I really, really want to go and take my wife sightseeing in Ireland as well.
But they've changed some of the tracks for next year from this year, have they, Lance?
They did. They mix it up a little bit every year, but they did something. They've never been to thermal.
Yeah.
An IndyCar raced there for 3 years, but they stopped. I think sometimes I know it's economics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought we'd always go back to Miami because that was a huge event. So price has a lot to do with it, for sure.
Yeah.
So Sebring is owned by NASCAR. NASCAR owns IMSA.
Okay. NASCAR
owns, I think, Daytona. That's where their headquarters is. So, I mean, there's a lot of NASCAR is involved in a lot.
Yeah.
But not thermal wants the business, I guess. I think the other is the weather. California, the weather's usually better.
Yeah.
Miami was interesting. Mm-hmm. It's a street track. Some of it was F1, but it's really a street track with concrete walls all around. Mm-hmm. And you get there, and there's no rubber laid down on the track because we were 2 weeks after F1, and there's just no rubber. And you really, there were a lot of incidents, and you're in these concrete canyons. And then it started getting rubbered in and got better. I mean, the second day or third day, there were less incidents. But if you went off the line to pass, there was no rubber. And it was like, man, I just pulled back. And then there were a lot of incidents in the race. And even in qualifying, sadly, they had, the guy's okay, but something happened in quali. He hit the wall, and it blew him out. At F1 tracks, they have the placards. You know, this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, without saying out of school, IMSA admitted they didn't know how to use the placards. And sometimes the placards would be on, and sometimes they wouldn't. And in the one race, it was a restart. And, I was pretty far back, and my coach said, you'll be back pretty far. It's going to go. The placard went green. And
wow.
And on a restart in the U.S. with IMSA, we can pass on green. We can't on the start. It's the reverse of FIA. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, I passed 6 cars, and it wasn't green. So I just backed up and went in a spot. But up front, some weird stuff happened. And
that's crazy.
There was no real cure for it. There was no cure. I think some people passed and kept the spots, and they couldn't really take them away. It affected some of the people were competing in the championship. And I swore one time I came around turn 4, and the placard was red. And my coach said, it's not. I go, it was, because maybe you're mistaken. So I didn't lose a spot from that, but it was obviously when it's like that,
who's pressing those buttons? You know, like
they
what's
didn't know
going
how
on?
to use the system, and they said, I think they said in the drivers' meeting, don't pay attention to the placards, but you see the placards, you see,
of course, you're going to
yellow
react
or
to
red,
that.
you're going to react. So it was, it was a challenge, and it was very, very hot. That was we had an issue. The car started having some issues with some warning lights going off, and we seemed to have believed it was the rear TPMS sensors in the car overheating, causing an error and a reset. So we were fighting that issue, and they flew in new sensors. I think Friday night and Saturday we put them in, and we sort of worked out okay. But that was your dash would get all these warnings on it. Yet everything was fine, but let's say you did have an issue with the warnings on, you wouldn't know it because you'd think you didn't have an issue.
Right.
The other thing that was bizarre, there was no pit exit out of pit back to the paddock.
Okay. How does that work? That's nuts.
So you had to go around and exit at the beginning of pit lane. Or if you were in pit lane, you would have to been rolled all the way back to the beginning of pit lane.
Wow.
And when we entered the track, we didn't enter the track through pit lane. We entered at turn 3.
Wow.
It's just really strange. And they were still deconstructing F1.
Right.
And our place in the paddock was so far away. Once I got lost going from the trailer to the track. I'd made a wrong turn, and I'm in this construction area with cranes, and we have cameras in the car, live cameras, GPX. And my coach is like, I'll guide you back using the cameras to get. I was frustrated. Daytona, we had issues with tire failures too. I had 2 tire failures, and it didn't cause any damage, but it affected things. So that's always been an issue at Daytona is tires. So, but otherwise, it's racing. It's
great stories, though. I love it. It's great. It's interesting.
So the Laguna Seca, Lance, the corkscrew, is it as fun as it looks?
It's cool. It's all timing.
Yeah,
it's all timing. It's really super quick timing. It's just a left and a right, immediate right. You try to turn right really fast.
Yeah.
And you try to, I was getting better and better. I was really making a lot of progress at the track. And we were doing real well in all the practices. And Saturday was a disappointment. And Sunday was everything worked out and paid off. A little bit of luck. So
it looks terrifying to me, but you say exciting, but it's terrifying
I don't see all that other. I just see a little out of the side, over here's a car. And back to Miami for a second. We're on the practice session, and it goes red, and there's a car going slow around the track. And I go, why they throw the red flag for a car going slow? A mechanic exited pit lane where he shouldn't have exited pit lane without race gear and helmet, and he's out on a live track in our test session.
Oh no!
Because some people had garages, and you could be in pit lane and go in the garage. But anyway, sorry to get off. But that was another.
No, that's wild.
Situation.
That's wild.
You shouldn't know better.
That sounds like an absolute logistical nightmare. Though you've got yourself drivers wandering off into crane fields trying to figure out where the track is. You've got mechanics wandering onto live races. What is happening? That's
and usually you want to enter pit lane. A lot of times maybe you change tires, check pressure, but we couldn't enter pit lane. We had to enter turn 3 and then come all the way around. Anyway, I've seen a lot over the years. So I've done 107 challenge races, and they were kind enough in the drivers meeting in Miami when I finished 100 races to announce that in the drivers meeting. Everybody clapped. It made me feel good. I know there's people who've done more, but I've seen a lot in 10 years.
It's really cool. It's really cool.
Got 4 cars on order. I mean, the one is on its way. The other 3 are still in very early stages. One's the F80. It's a Tillier build, and it's been approved a couple months ago. I no idea. I may see it late next year, may not. I just don't know. So that's an interesting car. And then I have I guess it's a 296 Aperta.
Beautiful.
296, whatever we call it, Speciale Aperta. Atelier built. That'll come someday. I don't know when. And then I have a Pelotti as well on order. And I have no idea when any of those cars will come. Yeah.
I saw an F80 up close for the first time about 10 days ago. I was in Maranello and I went to Modena to the museum, and they had an F80 in there, and I think it was like a dark blue color, and it was it was bright yellow. What am I thinking? It was bright yellow.
It was the yellow one.
Yeah, and I've seen it on TV and I've seen clips of it and people drive it from afar, but being right next to it, it was absolutely stunning. It's such a beautiful car, and actually a little bit smaller than I thought. In my mind, it seemed bigger, but when I was there, it was absolutely stunning, and I totally see why everyone loves it immediately. It's an incredible piece of machinery, technology, and design, just enchanting.
They had, I guess I probably spoke to you guys, but last January they had one at Cavallino in Palm Beach, and I took. They asked me to bring my love Ferrari there. They had a display of all the supercars around the F80, and I did that. And then they had the F80 at Pebble Beach as well at Cast Ferrari. And they asked me to bring my SP3 Daytona to Pebble Beach Cast Ferrari. I did that. There were about 4 or 5 others, and it was fun to do the drive. With the other cars and put it on the lawn, and beautiful, just beautiful event. So it's wonderful.
Yeah, SP3 is another seriously beautiful car. I think out of all of the sort of last, can we say 10 years, I think that's absolutely right up there for me. I think it's
very special. I think it's a neat car. There's no battery to worry about, and I've got an extended warranty on my love Ferrari, but they will not extend a warranty beyond 12 years. So we're kind of exposed on the battery.
Yeah.
I hate to say it'll probably fail like a week after the warranty goes out. So,
That's right.
I just don't want to think about it. I talked to another guy his failed on his car. He wasn't happy. It's quite expensive, and then but on the FXXK Evo, if the battery fails, since it's at the factory, they do that work there. There's not all these markups, from Ferrari North America to the dealership and all that. I'm not as concerned about that car.
With your cars, Lance, are you quite meticulous with them in terms of how many miles you do in them, how any scratches, how clean they're kept, and so on?
I drive them.
Yeah.
I try to drive all of them. My love Ferrari probably needs the paint protection film replaced on some. I haven't bothered to do it. I drive it.
Yeah.
The hardest one to drive is the SP2 because of the weather.
Sure.
Right.
I do want to. That's the one I drive the least, simply because of logistics, the weather. It's tagged. It's fully street legal and tagged. In the US, which is,
I guess you're just concerned the rain starts. Is that what
you got to, if the rain starts, you got to get cover, or you got to jump out. I have a rain cover. There's 2 covers. One's rain and one's just dust cover. You have to jump out and put the rain cover on. I guess stand under a tree or something. In Florida, rain is, it rains a lot in Florida. So but I'm going to take it out, and I try to drive each one of them. I don't put thousands of miles on the rare collector cars.
No.
You just don't really need to do that. I did the Ferrari Pebble Beach rally. I do that every year, and I take my 296 GTS on that. It's got the 12-way adjustable heated air conditioning seats and all that, or Fenley, and it's just my wife. It's good for me and my wife. We started in Utah. And we ultimately ended up in Las Vegas, and it was like 115 degrees in Las Vegas.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
And the other good thing about the 296, you can get good mileage with it.
Mhm.
Some of the SF90s, they are very close to running out of fuel when when you're supposed to get a scheduled fuel stop, and sometimes you miss a fuel stop. It's get bad.
Right.
The 296 with a hybrid, I can stretch the miles way out in that.
Fantastic. Well, thanks, Lance. Thanks so much. It's been a thrill, as always, to talk to you and hear about your stories. And, very cool car collection. And good luck with the SF90. That's on the way, I hope. So
It's on the way. You have to be patient. I'm fine with that. I'm in Virginia now until the finals. After the finals, I'll go to Florida. Most of my cars are down there, and the weather's nice in the winter. So
yeah.
I look forward to seeing you guys again.
Yeah, thanks,
Absolutely.
Lance. Thanks for your time. Thank you.
Good luck. Thank
Wow.
you.
Speak to you soon.